All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Miss Mary and Miss Trinette. Now, before we went on break, we were talking about parents and how this program actually truly does impact their lives, because if their lives are impacted and their mindset is changed, so is the children. But we were also talking about how we need to come to the understanding and realization that we cannot just pawn our kids off in different functions and activities because they're really not safe in these areas, and we trust certain people, assuming that because they're of a certain level and a certain prestige, that, oh yeah, I can leave my children with them and it's fine.
Most extracurricular activities that we choose for our children are very well thought out. They're hand-picked. We put them in a sports program or in the Boy Scouts or in the Y or whatever, ballet lessons.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, unfortunately and tragically, recently we learned, because of what is occurring and what happened at Penn State, that even when we put our children in an extracurricular activity that looks good and sounds good, they may not even be safe there. So we have to shift, we think, and recognize first that while nobody wants to make children fearful of what's out there, I think we need to make them aware and alert to what might be out there. So rather than checking out all of these different programs that we can get them into, the first line of defense is to teach them how to be safe. How do they handle a bully? How do they handle a stranger? More importantly, how do they handle family members and friends? Because 96% of everything bad that happens to a child happens to them because of someone they know.
Absolutely.
Only 4% is related to a stranger. So if it's that prolific in their own community, we need to teach them how to resist it, how to respond. It has to be immediate. It has to be instinctive. And they have to be able to tell. So that's what Rad Kids provides them. It provides parents an opportunity to make safety a priority, and it provides children an opportunity to feel confident, to feel special, and to know that they're okay, and this does not have to happen to them.
And you know what makes that Penn State case so unfortunate is the fact that he was a prestigious coach, and everybody believed that he was their kids being around him, they were safe because of the notoriety of the college, and because the fact that, you know, their stats concerning sports was almost immaculate.
But so that's a mirror image of anywhere, Vanetta, because we think they're safe at school, even in a school with a zero tolerance for bullying. But we know that's not true. Children are bullied every day across the country. We think they're safe next door. We think they're safe everywhere. And unfortunately, we are learning all the time through every city's headlines across the country that they're really not safe. It can come anywhere, from within the families that we love, to our communities that we love, to our religious institutions, to our extracurricular programs. And the point is, if we know that's happening, then it is incumbent upon us as parents to teach our children how to be safe from it.
But you know, one of the issues with most parents, and I can say this for myself, but I fight myself through this, is I really don't want to talk about these issues. I don't want to imagine that my child could possibly be abducted, because whenever I was talking to them about this last night, and I had chills. I wanted to cry just imagining someone coming in and abducting them, and it's like, I don't want that kind of scenario to happen. I don't even want to really, even though I know it's the right thing to do, I don't even want to teach them how to defend themselves, because I don't even want to acknowledge that that is even a possibility. And I think a lot of parents, whether they realize this or not, they're in that kind of circumstance where they just don't want to face that could be an issue.
But we have to look at it this way. A good example is women. None of us as women walk around in fear, but we do walk around alert because we know. So what we want children to get is the same message. You don't have to walk around in fear. You have to walk around alert, cognizant, confident. So that's the difference. We don't want to approach it from a point of fear. We want to approach it from a point of awareness. And mentioning the abduction factor, You know, Rad Kids has trained about 250,000 children nationwide. It's in 45 states. And 81 Rad Kids have avoided abduction to date from the skills that they learned in the program.
Now, let's go back to the actual program itself. How did it actually get started? Where did this whole idea come about, and was it recent, or has this been a long-term program that has been in effect?
Steve Daly, a former police officer of 21 years in Massachusetts, founded the program. And Mary, what year was that?
In 1998.
And in fact, he was in San Antonio yesterday as we're getting ready for the instructor's course. And I asked him directly, what made you start Rad Kids? And he said, as a police officer, he responded to a call, and it turned out to be a 6-year-old girl who had been very brutally raped. And when he arrived on the scene, she said, "Where were you?" And
you're supposed to help me.
Yes.
Where were you?
Shortly after that, he decided to do something more proactive, and this is certainly we need law enforcement as responders. What he's trying to do is, as an adjunct to that, offer a proactive program for children.
So, now what you need most intently is instructors. So I really have you guys here because I want people in the community to understand that they need to be an active participant in this program. If we really want our kids to be safe, we really need to get involved. We need to know what it takes to make our kids safe. We need to be aware. So if I wanted to become an instructor, how's the process? Because I know it's not just, okay, I just volunteer and I'm going to be a Rad Kids instructor and that's it.
A little more involved than that.
Yes, it is. Actually, we're proud to say that the first San Antonio Instructors course will be held here at the Villa that's located at the corner of East Ashby and North St. Mary's. This will be February 20th through the 23rd. The courses are always Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The main commitment is actually the training, which is, as I said, a 4-day commitment. You cannot miss one day. Coursework is built upon the previous coursework. So it's imperative that you have the time to make that type of commitment. After you have become a Rad Kids certified instructor, you're only required to teach 2 classes minimum to keep your certification, and that is the Rad Kids program is a 10-hour program. So you're talking about a 20-hour commitment in a year as far as giving your time. So a person that's interested in becoming a Rad Kids instructor can always go to the national website of radkids.org and click on the program locator, and it'll show different upcoming instructor courses that are taught throughout the United States. Like for me, I had to go to Georgia a couple of months ago, and that's where I became certified because there wasn't a certification program here close by. So now Steve just finished training 24 instructors in Laredo this week. The Laredo Independent School District has adopted the Rad Kids program into their curriculum, so we're very excited about that, and that they're our neighbor. However, I want to see that here. And so if people are interested in becoming an instructor, they can contact me directly at demosradkids@gmail.com, which is demosradkids@gmail.com. Or they can also go to our website, demosgreekfood.com, and click on the Rad Kids logo, and it'll take them to our community page, which will give more information.
Also, we want the listeners to know that as far as the people that we're looking for, because this is our launch, as you said, this is a call to action to get instructors to sign up and become involved. We're looking for people who are passionate about their communities and children. It's a really good fit as a volunteer program for people in law enforcement, military or prior military, educators, coaches. I believe every one of the new instructors in Laredo in the school district was a coach, because there's some, stamina involved and physical fitness, though that's not, a cut and dried criteria. But we want people to understand it's not like You're contributing something at Christmas and then you're done. This is an ongoing commitment. The courses can be taught in private facilities or in schools. I mean, the program is pretty wide open. But in order to launch it and get it in San Antonio, which it needs to be, we need committed, interested instructors who are willing to spend 4 days learning how to do it and then do it.
Now, it's 4 days for the parents, but what about the children? How long is how long is the training for them?
10 hours.
10 hours?
Yes. And they structure that depending on the age, because there's the pre-K, and then there's the 5 to 7, and then
the 8 to 12. Yes,
Yes.
we break them down into 3 groups. However, the total program, the Rad Kids program for a child is 10 hours. So it depends if it's within the school and they adopt it during PE curriculum, then it's probably in 30-minute increments daily until they reach the 10 hours. Now, outside of school, typically for the older children, 8 to 12, there's 2-hour courses Monday through Friday, and they complete their 10 hours that way. There's also weekend programs. There's different ways, and actually the Circle School is the first school in San Antonio that will be teaching the Rad Kids program within their school starting in January.
Good.
And I'm very proud to be a part of that, and I will be helping teach there the Rad Kids program. In the meantime, we will be setting up some private classes at the Villa. Those won't be slated till probably February, March, so you can check back on the websites that I mentioned earlier for more information on those. As we mentioned earlier, our main goal right now is to recruit instructors, and I do need to mention that all instructors do undergo a background check because we do want to keep the integrity of the program intact of teaching the children.
Now, I have one more question before we go on break. If the children enjoy the first class, can they come back, or can they continue to go through the class or the cycle over and over and over again, or is that just the 10 hours is just pretty much it?
Actually, Vanetta, this is one of the most beautiful things about the program, is that it's a national policy, National Rad Kids policy, that if a child goes through a Rad Kids program that they pay for, say for example, it's not within the school system, it's an after-school program or taught at a private facility, the child can come back before its 13th birthday and take the course for free as many times as it wants, as long as it has its first graduation certificate. And that's honored everywhere throughout the United States at any Rad Kids program. If there's a fee for them to take the course, it is waived if they've taken the course one time, and they can take it as many times until their 13th birthday.
All right, and we will be right back. Do not go anywhere, Miss Ladies. I still have a couple more questions to ask you, so we're just going to play some music real quick. Is that right, Mr. Lockhart?
That's right.
All right.